Hi, this is Sherry with Psychic Miss Paranormal and Elite Paranormal Specialist. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the Geonetrix project, option 2, the additional data collection. This is a very important option, but I would like you to do it in addition to the main project. The main project is very important, so if you can only do one thing, then please work on the main project. This one here gives me additional information, helping me to zero in on more specifics and get more accurate data. So for those of you who can add this to the main project, it really is simple. There's only one more thing that you have to write in your notes, and that is it. And let me tell you how this works. So for this particular option in data collection, I am looking to find similarities and differences in like and unlike situations. And let me tell you about how this works. First of all, you would need to go to a location more than one time. So you might want to go to, like, say, a cemetery or somewhere you don't have to pay for, a house or somewhere that you have access to a location that you can just do a session. It doesn't have to be anything long, like a big long investigation or anything. It could just be an EVC session or some psychic work, whatever you're doing. And you would have to go to this location at least 2 or 3 times to collect the data. So 3 times would actually be a good number to go. More would be better, because the more data collected, the better. But if you can only do 3, that'd be great. And it's important that it's the same location, and it's also important that it's the same time of the day or night. So if you choose to go to a cemetery, please make it the same cemetery. And if you say you go at 7 o'clock at night, then please go every time at 7 o'clock at night. So I was talking about similarities and differences. And let me start with the differences first. I'm going to use the example of the cemetery. So say you go to the cemetery and it's 70 degrees out. That's great. Another time you want to go, you might want to go when it's 50 degrees. And then another time you might want to go when it's 90 degrees. So they're pretty good differences. You might want to go one time when it's humid. The humidity is high. And another time when the humidity is low. You also want to do differences like if it's a clear day or a clear night, or if it's a rainy day or night. If it's windy, if it's snowing. So you want these differences. You don't want to try to go when the weather conditions are the same. And it's going to be impossible to make everything different. Also, with these differences, something really good to pay attention to is if you can go on days when the geomagnetic fields and the solar x-rays are showing differently. A lot of times they're just normal and quiet. So if you get a storm, or if it's active or unsettled, something like that, that's a good time to try to go as well. There's something that I would give a lot of attention to if you can. And I realize that you're not going to be able to do this in a short amount of time. If you're looking for weather changes, between 50 and 90 degrees, it could take 6 months or 8 months. This is why it's a long-term project, but it's important and necessary in order to get accurate data. How else are we going to make improvements, right? So that's kind of what I mean by the differences. So let's talk about the similarities. So obviously the similarity is going to be opposite. If you go to the cemetery and it's 70 degrees, then you're going to want to try to go again when it's 70 degrees, or something very similar like 68 degrees or 72 degrees. But you want to keep it close. If you went when it's high humidity, then try to stay with high humidity, or low humidity, medium, whatever that is. If you go on a rainy day, then you're going to want to go on another rainy day. And I mean, it's important, no one wants to really go out somewhere on a rainy day, but it's important to study each type of weather condition. If you're one of those people who, you're a real trooper, you can do the rainy or snowy day, that's great. Like I said, all of it needs to be studied, though, with rainy days, snowy days. That's why it's important to get a lot of data from a lot of people. So your contribution make a big difference. Once again, try to pay particular attention to the geomagnetic field and solar x-rays, because it's not always easy to get similarities there except for quiet and normal. Quiet and normal is pretty much the basic. So it'd be great if you could find similarities that work with storms, or something unsettled or something like that. It'd be really great if you could do that. So that's what I mean by similarities. So I want to definitely point out again that all scenarios really need to be studied and recorded, so it would take some work, and that's why the more people that do this and help out, the better. We could make some major breakthroughs, we could enhance our paranormal work. So it's really important to try to get as many scenarios of differences and similarities as we can, and pass it on to everyone that works in these fields. Anything and everything will help. So as you can see, trying to get the similarities and differences is just a matter of the weather conditions, and trying to get similar ones versus trying to get different ones. Also, as far as what you report, like I said, it's just a matter of putting down in your notes that this is part of option 2. And every time you send something in, I'll be able to add it to the option that you just sent. If it's a similarity or difference, you can put that down if you want to as well. The only other thing I want to say is that if you are going to participate in option 2, please do it in addition to the main project. Getting as much data and accurate data as we can is really paramount, and is what is going to make a big difference in how this study comes out. I'm always looking for ways to improve paranormal science and get better results, no matter what area of the paranormal you're in. It's something that we can all work toward together. I really appreciate your time, your effort, and everything you do. Happy adventures on all your paranormal work, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and working with you. Thanks. This is Shara with Psychic Miss Paranormal and Elite Paranormal Specialists. Have a great day.